Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unjustified Crimes Breaking News channel. Today, we're going to be touching on something in the sports world. Now, Deshaun Watson has been signed in with the Cleveland Browns as quarterback. Now, he has been given a substantial contract, like not just a substantial contract, he has been given the largest in history of any quarterback. They're paying him more than these legends such as Joe Montana, Tom Brady. In case you haven't heard, 22 sexual misconduct. Now, today's co-host is very special to me. This is my granddaughter. She's 17 years old, and we will be keeping her name anonymous for good reason. She is an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to not just football, okay, with the Cleveland Browns. She is a big super fan of the team as well as supporter. Now, as this was happening and they were talking about getting this quarterback here, trust me, I heard it here. We had many football talks and chats, and I know nothing about it, but I listened to her. Let me show you one of her little TikTok videos. Actually, it's two that I put together, and it just kind of gives you an idea. When she was just a girl. She is a huge fan of the Cleveland Browns. So I thought today it would be fantastic if she would come on here with us and give her insight. We're going to go over the press conference that was given today after the grand jury chose to not indict him on any of these. I'm going to give you a little brief rundown about what he's about and what's going on in case you've never heard of him. And then we're going to sort of get into a little bit of this press conference and do some reaction to it. So thank you for joining us today, little Miss Cleveland Browns fan.
You're very welcome.
We really do appreciate you being here with us and giving us a female's insight into this very controversial situation that we have going on with the Cleveland Browns right now and their choice of their new, in my opinion, overpaid quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Second Texas grand jury has declined to charge this quarterback for his alleged misconduct. 2 weeks after a Texas grand jury declined to file charges against star NFL quarterback Deshaun Watson related to 9 criminal complaints alleging SA or misconduct, another grand jury has done the same. The district attorney's office announced Thursday that its own county's grand jury, which has been considering a separate accusation of misconduct, will not indict Watson and considers his criminal matter closed. And this comes days after the Browns officially acquired Watson in a blockbuster trade with the Texans and then signed him to a record 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract. Now, earlier Thursday, the Browns told ESPN through a team spokesperson that the organization was unaware of the possibility of a second grand jury investigating Watson. Now, the coach, general manager Andrew Berry, and the team owners Jimmy and Dee Hoslin all released statements after the club's accusation of Watson, and they emphasized the Browns' extensive research of the quarterback's off-field situation. Now, while the quarterback has not been criminally charged for any alleged misconduct, he still faces 22 civil lawsuits alleging serial predator behavior related to private massage therapy sessions while he was playing for the Texans. Now, the NFL has a disturbing history of enabling and excusing the abuse of women. And unfortunately, this is just the latest example. Now, this is said by the victims' rights attorney, Michelle Simpson. The Browns' leadership is telling survivors that the possibility of winning more football games is more important than the 22 women who have bravely come forward with serious allegations of abuse against him. Now, Watson remains under investigation by the NFL for his off-field conduct. The league announced recently that his trade to the Browns has no effect on the ongoing and comprehensive investigation of the serious allegations against him. It's possible the NFL could impose a suspension or a violation of a personal conduct policy. Now, with ESPN reporting that violations related to SA carry a minimum 6-game ban, also suggest that the quarterback is bracing for a suspension with the Browns and paying most of his 2022 earnings in the form of a signing bonus. Now, this is not being accepted well by everyone. I will tell you that. Now, as I've told you, my granddaughter, she's huge into the Browns. She's very active on social media, most every platform that has to do with the Browns. So with you being so active on social media, and what are you seeing out there? Are you seeing that there is more support or there's more opposition against, for or against this grand jury decline to indict this man on these charges? Do you see more, less, about the same? What are you seeing out there?
I am seeing like more so 50-50 in my opinion. I feel like it's very 50-50.
So, and you know what? That is the way it is with most everything. And any of these kind of controversial things, you're going to have that. But what would be interesting to know is it more males that is, all in the corner that, they're glad the grand jury didn't indict this guy? Or is it more females, or is that also more 50-50?
It's definitely more males are with Deshaun Watson and more females are opposed of him.
You being such a fan and a supporter, how do you feel about this? And this is coming from a female perspective.
I find it very disgusting, really, and I don't really support the Browns going after Deshaun Watson, and I don't really like the ruling or anything about it, really.
Did the Browns have other options than this guy?
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
Really? So that there
Yeah.
was other options as a quarterback besides this guy?
Absolutely. We already had a quarterback, and I mean, there were more quarterbacks that we could have made trades with.
So what is so special with this guy? Is he like the most amazing quarterback in the world, or what is the situation with him? I mean, what has he done that's so good that they wanted him bad enough to pay him a history of a quarterback? What is so good about, why did they want him so bad?
I mean, he's arguably one of the best quarterbacks Clemson ever had in college, and then he's done exceptional things with the Houston Texans, and a lot of people would have him in their top 5 quarterbacks in the league at the moment. And so obviously he's like a huge player, and a lot of people seem to think he's a very good player. So
he was highly sought after for his playing skills, correct?
yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. Now, I know the Browns had their own quarterback for several years, right?
Yeah, since 2018.
It almost seems like a slap in that guy's face. Now, again, I know nothing about football or how any of that works, but it almost seems like a slap in the face to him, and he's been there so long, not only to be replaced by this guy, but also this guy's reputation.
100% I agree.
It's just unfathomable. And I see you're wearing a Browns jersey, so would you be inclined, and I know you're a big Browns fan, would you be inclined to go buy this guy's jersey?
Oh, I would definitely not.
Definitely not. And
No.
why not?
I feel like it's very disgusting, and it's kind of a slap in the face to the victims, and I would just not, and I would feel very uncomfortable wearing it to begin with. It'd feel kind of dirty, almost.
Exactly. And I could not agree more. It's completely wrong. Now, what I've done some reading up on his allegations, and I'm not going to be putting them out here. Everyone is welcome to go Google it. It's everywhere. And I'm not going to say it, but I will say this. There is a pattern there.
Mm-hmm.
So unless all of these women met in one place and they got their same exact story together, which I find is probably not going to happen, he has chose to have a record number of different massage therapists within a short period of time. So do you know how many different therapists they are saying that he actually went to within this short amount of time?
I believe it was 40 within the span of 5 years.
40 within 5 years. 40 different massage therapists. Now, come on, it don't take that many different therapists to find one that you're comfortable with and does the job like you want them to. Okay, so that in itself says a lot to me.
Mhm.
It's like he was shopping around continuously. And finally, these women have came out, and there again, like I say, with all of them having basically the same allegations against him, there's got to be some truth there. You know, there has to be. The pattern is just too well laid out. I mean, that is my opinion, of course, but you know, that's just the way I feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to look over this press conference that was done only hours ago.
Withers Associated Press. Deshaun, there are a lot, as Andrew and Kevin mentioned, there are a lot of people that are very conflicted over your arrival here. They've read the sexual allegations, they've seen the lawsuits. What do you want people to know about you as a person? Who are you? We know about you as a player. Who are you as a person?
The biggest thing for me is, as a person, I'm genuine.
Yeah, Andrew, just to be clear, nobody from the Browns or representing the Browns spoke to any of the 22 women who've made allegations, correct?
Like I mentioned earlier in my opening statement, Jake, our attorneys advise us that reaching out directly.
Oh, you've already seen this, right?
Yes.
Was his question? Oh, this is such a good question. Why 40 massage therapists in 2 years?
5.
5 years. Okay, either way, that's a lot. This is a good question.
Yeah, I can't get too far into detail because there's an ongoing investigation still, but I can.
What a good answer.
Actually.
Such a good question to give an answer like that. Nice.
I can say that with this now day and age, especially with my age group, social media is a big business part that goes into it. So that's, a factor into it. But as far as the details, I can't get too far into it because there's an investigation going on. But hopefully, once everything is resolved, I can speak freely on it.
Kind of evaluating your methods or how many you use.
Not that you're going to. Not that you're going to.
Yeah, Deshaun, what can you say to Browns fans and to the people of Cleveland to convince them that you're not the person that is described in these complaints and suits? And do you sort of understand why it can be hard for people to, believe that right now, given the sheer numbers involved?
No, definitely. I understand the whole circumstances is very difficult, especially for the women's side of the fans in this community. I'm not naive to that. I know these allegations is very, very serious. But like I mentioned before, I've never assaulted any woman. I never disrespected any woman. I was raised by a single parent mom who has 2 aunties who's her sister, and that's what raised me. I was raised to be genuine and respect everyone and everything around me. So I've always defended that. And
Illusion from being a complete predator.
You'll hear him say that a couple more times.
Well, see, that doesn't exclude him from anything.
The community of building communities, building housing and things. So, I'm going to work with this organization and my team to the perfect opportunity for us to come out and just help, because I've always been that type of person. That's how I was raised. And that's why I continue to say I'm a servant leader, because I wrote a book on it. That's how I was before any of these allegations. But at the same time, I know, and I'm not naive to the point that I have to earn that trust back from the community and people outside that's looking, at these allegations and haven't spoken to me before. So that's my goal, is to be able to earn that trust and keep pushing for it. I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue. And that's what I've been saying from the beginning. So this situation is that
I do not believe him.
Me either.
He is trying to save face right here, and he keeps using the excuse of how I was raised. I mean, how is that excusing anything?
That
It
was what I was
doesn't.
trying to understand.
I've always been respectful, and that's what I've always, stood on, and that's who I am as a person.
Why not just find one you really like and stick with that person? 40 just seems like
Exactly.
Well, I never, as far as a team, and then when I say team, I'm not saying the Cleveland Browns, but my agency and things like that. 40 is just over the time. It's not in one period of time. I've been in Houston for 5 years, so you go to different people, and that's just how, like I said before, I can't get too far into the details. But as businesses work and you move and meet different people, and people have different schedules and blocks, you kind of meet people over time.
Okay. The second one is a football question. What kind of
So
quarterback
did
are
he
Browns
move 40 times in the past
Yes, he's
5
been a
years?
strong
I
leader. He
don't
loves to
think
work. He
so.
loves to make sure he uplifts everyone around him. Who's going to compete super hard. Who's going to fight to the end of time.
I know you know this team pretty well. Do you know if any of the teammates is unhappy that this guy's been signed on with them?
I haven't heard anyone actually speak out upon it. But Nick
Mhm.
Chubb, which is a running back, hasn't really said literally anything about it at all. Just has said nothing. So
And you would think that if he was pleased with it, that would be quite the opposite. I mean, you would think, that's just speculating. Hypothetically, you would think that if he was very happy with the new quarterback sign, that he would be probably making a pretty big deal about it.
and
And he's
he's
not.
just said nothing.
Yeah, he's kind of been mute. So to me, I've always said this, and I mean this, silence is deafening.
Mm-hmm.
It says a lot and speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
And in April, I think it's the 18th, I'm going to continue to show who I am, and we can sit down and speak about it.
People that are never going to believe you. Can you live with that?
All I can do is continue to just stay focused and speak the truth, speak my honesty, and just keep trying to help other people. I can't speak for everyone else. Like I said before, I want people to be able to come to me and have an open dialogue, and we speak about it and show the person I really am. And that's how I was raised, to respect everyone and continue to respect people like I want to be respected. And that's
That's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was raised. Just because of the way you're raised sometimes has no bearing on the person you turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will disagree with that. But I'm here to tell you, you can raise your kid to be a very upstanding citizen. And then that kid can turn out to be one of the biggest menaces of society. Believe me. I've seen it more than once.
just how I was raised. So, continue to build that with the organization.
With guaranteed money, isn't it usually the case that the guarantees are voided in the event of a suspension from the NFL? Is that the case with this contract?
I understand. So Nate, again, I won't go into all the specifics with the contract, but we do have our language within the contract that does offer, I would say, typical club protections. So
And then,
we'll never fully be able to walk in the shoes of individuals who have been affected by sexual assault, and that is something that we thought about a lot as we went through this process, understanding what the reaction would be, and that's something that weighed heavily on me, and we empathize with.
And as it relates to Deshaun, I think Deshaun's ready to make a positive impact on this community. And I can tell you, just with my time spent with Deshaun in the past few days and getting to know him and getting to know this person, I'm looking forward to this community getting to know this person.
I'm just not happy with this guy. I feel like that he is a predator. I do, and I feel like there's no way some of these ladies weren't telling the truth.
I completely agree.
They even know nothing about sports. I know you do, but I do feel like the end game here is not going to play out well for the Browns. I really don't. I believe this guy is going to mess up again. And because now the message that has been sent because of his fame, money, power, sports ability, whatever you might call it, has made him feel like he is above the law.
Yeah, like a lot of people are like, I can't support this team anymore. And it's just like, it's like sometimes people's talents override the horrible truth. And I think in this situation, that's what it really boils down to, is that he's a better player and people want to win games other than have someone there that's a good person.
Right. Right. Well,
He's
on
a
the
good
other
player.
the other people on social media, I know you told me earlier that there was another female that kind of spoke out against this decision the Browns has made with him and the indictment, and she caught a lot of hate, didn't she?
Yeah, she lost like a lot of followers. I don't know the exact amount, but it was a lot. And she got so much hate, she had to end up deleting her videos.
Having to delete her videos just because she voiced her opinion and the way she felt. And I'm sure there's even males out there that is definitely not with this. I mean, they don't.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's some out there. Yeah.
So you got
There's
the
not-
males and
yeah.
the females. Mhm.
Yeah.
You was saying earlier that there was a male super fan that had been a male for many, many years, and now, I mean, just refuses to support the team now because of their decision of this guy.
Yeah, like he said that he was a fan for 40 years and he was a season ticket holder, I think, for like 21 years or something
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Yeah, and that he is going to stop being a Browns fan because of this. And that's
Yes,
the truth of the law.
see more happening, and I don't see this ending well. And I feel like that, and probably it may not be the very near future, but when he starts getting more comfortable, this is going to happen again.
I feel
This-
he'll be suspended, and it's gonna kind of like bite the Browns in the butt a little bit, and as like a playing standpoint, not so much legally, but standpoint. But
Well, the article we read said that there was a minimum, I think it said, of a,
6 games, yeah.
yeah. So during those suspensions with this guaranteed contract and guaranteed money, he still gets paid, right? Even if he's suspended.
Well, that interview or press conference that we just watched, they said there was some like, I don't like, whatever it said. I don't really remember the
There's some
exact term.
stipulations there, but
Yeah.
the word guaranteed says a lot as well.
Oh yeah, he is guaranteed the most in history in a contract. So
Unbelievable.
230 million
Unbelievable.
within 5 years. So it's a 5-year, 230 million contract, guaranteed.
I don't see it. And as I've always said, I don't see a guy running with the ball should be paid that much money, so much more money than a man on the front line defending our country. But it is what it is.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us today and giving us all a great insight of a female perspective, and not just that, a teenager's perspective. That says a lot. It really does. The message that has been sent out, in my opinion, is not good. Not good here.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to end well. Y'all let us know in the comments below. Our guest will also keep an eye on the comments if you have any questions for her as well. And let us know what you think about this. Do you think that it was justified, him not being indicted by the grand jury, or do you believe it was unjustified? You know, I say unjustified, of course, or I wouldn't even have it on my channel. Your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being a guest here with us, Miss Brown's fan. If you would like to see all of this press conference that was held today that we just went over, it will be linked in the description box below. It is very interesting. I want to thank you so much for joining us today and listening to my granddaughter's reaction. This is the very first time she's ever done anything like this. She was super nervous, but I think she done a fantastic job. Y'all would really just truly be amazed at the knowledge that she does have in her love, the love of sports, the love of football. She has notebooks. She writes the stats down daily. She knows every quarterback, every coach of every team, statistics. It's truly amazing listening to her talk about these kind of things when she's not so nervous. She's really amazing at what she does, and I'm not being biased here. It is just the truth. But thank you all so much for listening. We would truly appreciate a thumbs up or even a thumbs down if you feel so inclined. And we do hope you have a great day, night, evening, wherever you may be. And until next time, this is Unjustified.